Welcome to Life, bringing you insight and experiences into love, relationships, and fertility, with a focus on enjoying life and moving forward. On today's episode, we'll be speaking about how the podcast came to fruition, its purpose, and what to expect. Hi, I'm Lori. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, certified case manager, and board certified in telemental health, which means I can chat with people remotely as well as in person. I specialize in relationships and fertility, and my practice is in New York City. And this is my podcast. This is life, love, insight, fertility, experiences, the elements that encompass the journey we all call life. I'd like to take a few minutes and tell you about my podcast and what to expect. The idea to have a podcast evolved through conversations I've been having with my patients, and the name Life, well, it seemed perfect, since that's what we'll be talking about, how to make the most of it, how to enjoy it. The words love, insight, fertility, experiences, the elements of life that help to move us forward. We'll talk about love as it relates to relationships in life. We'll talk about relationships, our connections with others, our likes and dislikes, how all of this developed, the origin. Well, it all starts at the beginning, at infancy, some even say in the womb, and stems from the love and the connections we had with our primary caretakers. Now, I'm not a deep analytical therapist, but it makes sense. There's so many different types of love: romantic love, parental love, love for a child, a friend, and our likes and dislikes. All of these roles and desires, they frame us, who we are, how we feel about ourselves, and how we feel about others. Love impacts how we see the world, and we all hear so much about that today. It fosters an understanding of not just who we are, but where we fit in. And this understanding, this insight, helps us evaluate what we may want to change and how we may want to get there. With insight comes different philosophies in looking at, coping with, and enjoying life. I'm a believer in positive psychology, mindfulness, cognitive behavioral health, and the reality of what's happening today. I look at the correlation between things: relationships and technology, secrets versus privacy, the mind-body connection. What happens if we're experiencing disharmony, imbalance, when your feelings and your thoughts aren't in sync? Going to bed with less stress, more satisfaction, and balance. Pausing to gain perspective, something I find myself saying a lot. Being able to appreciate, being able to look at a situation, a feeling, as if it's an object, to examine it, to understand it. That can be powerful. It requires insight. George Bernard Shaw once said, "When something is funny, search for the hidden truth." Contemplation allows us to take action. It helps us to find the balance, accepting, rejecting, incorporating something new, or eliminating something that's just not working. Insight helps us with this. So when we look at life, and we know it can be a bit messy, moments of rushing and juggling, worrying, not acknowledging what we're experiencing and going through, it doesn't really help. When we don't stop for that moment until we're too stressed, either over something good or bad, because stress is stress, when we don't find the time to calm so that we can think, even for a moment, we can feel like it's spiraling. Insight helps us frame. It helps us take stock. So the desire to have a child, start a family, it can be profound. Maybe something you've dreamed of since you were a child. When a woman makes a decision to have a child, she believes it'll happen when she's ready. Now, men without a female partner, they know assistance is going to be needed. When a fertility journey is not what we thought it would be, it can raise so many feelings and thoughts. It takes both a physical and emotional toll on each person, both partners. And if you're going it alone, those closest to you. Not to mention the financial impact. There are so many options today: IVF, donor egg, donor sperm, surrogacy, adoption. For most, fertility challenges are something very new, filled with situations and experiences that haven't ever been contemplated before. It can cause anxiety and stress. After all, experiences bring comfort, familiarity, and understanding. So with new experiences, feelings arise that may benefit from attention. When we're going through any type of significant event in life, it's helpful actually important to check in with yourself and understand how you're doing, how you're feeling, coping, and reacting in the moment, and in day-to-day life. Experiences help us to be able to determine what works for us. They allow us to visualize, which is a great tool. Carl Jung, a key figure in analytic psychology, establishing individualization, which is becoming who you are, your unique self. He said, "I'm not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Experiences allow us an understanding of what we've been through, what we want, and what we may want to avoid. They broaden our horizons, whether they're positive or negative. They allow us insight into ourselves and hopefully empathy for others. Experiences make up every day and probably every minute of our life. I'll invite guests from an array of experiences and backgrounds to chat about their perspective, along with doctors, acupuncturists, nutritionists, therapists. We'll look at moving forward in a way that feels balanced, taking the time to be in it, taking that moment to pause and gain perspective, to smell the roses. And so with all of this in mind, I decided on calling my podcast Life, with the goal of encompassing what it is that touches us all on this journey. Life can be so many things, and the one thing I wish for everyone is to enjoy the ride. Welcome to life. If you'd like more information, please feel free to contact me via my website, lauriemetz.net. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the conversations.